Hi everyone, this is LAR Games, and today I'm watching episode 12 of Full Dive. This series has been kind of extremely disappointing for me. It had such potential in the beginning to be really funny. Not only that, but have the character designs that I saw for the series were, well, specifically the red-haired girl. Like, they're still fantastic, but I mean, it really ruined the execution on those designs with the personalities that they gave that design. But besides that, the story has just been like one continuous torture fest for the main character, with very, very, very little actual progression or growth from the character. Like, every time I thought that, oh man, maybe things are finally going to start turning around, it just dumps some more stuff on him so he could suffer some more. Uh, the plot has been extremely lackluster, and every single character's motivations that aren't his has been just awful. The mechanics of the game that he's playing are nonsensical and not even adhering to its own philosophy of realism. And not only that, but the mechanics themselves make no sense within its own logic. Like, it's a single-player game, yet there's multiplayer as well, but for some reason, everything he does in his single-player game also affects other players somehow. And if it's a single-player experience, and other players are also playing it, which means that they also should have experienced all of these events. So I just don't know how this game works. I don't know the rules. Like, that guy that's been playing this game for like 20 years or whatever, I don't even know, actually, has it been 20 years? Regardless of how long it's been, he should have experienced all these things if the story was to be any way. And the fact that there's been other players that have beaten it, every single one of these things should have already happened at some point, and everyone should know how they go, and everyone should be able to deal with them. It's just, I just don't understand how this works. Like, they portray it as an MMO sometimes, and then they portray it as a single-player game other times. Like, it can't decide what it wants to be, and that bothers me. But yeah, last episode he discovered the secret to the town, which is that, you know, that the goblins are being used, and that's the reason that nobody's allowed to leave the town, because the goblins are being used to keep people inside the town. So now the main character has to fight or do something with that really strong guy, but I have a feeling it's not going to go satisfyingly. I doubt anything that he's learned or gained throughout this experience are going to help him much. So, yeah, let's just get through this thing. After this, I'm probably just going to read the wiki or something to see how everything goes, because, oh gosh, she looks so good even when she's unconscious. I got distracted. I don't know what I was going to say. So, is he just going to die and then the game is going to break, wipe his system, brick it somehow? He does have that ability to never manifest it again. Well, thanks for explaining, I guess. Oh, huh. Only she's allowed to kill him? Is that why she did that? It's good that he's pausing after doing that and giving them a chance to talk. Oh, when did that happen? Then why was she still acting like that towards him during the day? Did she have this dream like literally after she did that or what? Oh, hmm. But her personality hadn't changed much. I wanted there to be like an actual adventure in this series, but there wasn't. I guess he just wanted them to have their moment. Of course not. I doubt that. Otherwise, there'd be a way to bring the brother back too. It really doesn't. Only in certain things that it chooses. Is he beginning to believe? Or is Neo powers gonna unlock? Or he's just gonna die and the game breaks his console. I guess he unlocked his ability or suddenly decided he can use it now. Or at least the game decided. Kind of. Well, I'd say you're creepier, considering your reasoning for getting him into this game. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I really still don't understand how he's able to understand all of these things of the game if he didn't play through it multiple times. How do you play this game through multiple times with different uh, events, like being able to see every event if you don't restart? Well, that's something, I guess. I guess we had to wait for the finale to him to finally be able to do something interesting. And it still doesn't explain why she is able to be this fairy character. God, she looks terrible. No. There's no reason to ever accept anything she says. She is really not. Yeah, that's a really big downside. Very wise. I think it'd be even better to marry the psychopathic, super hot redhead, because she at least likes him. Well, his sword is really average. Makes sense, I guess. It's not shitty because it's realistic, it's shitty because it's inconsistent. Is his fictional life flashing before his eyes? Is the sister gonna be there too, the childhood friend? Well, at least you don't die for real. Man, this makes me want to play some VR right now. She on the other side of the tree? Uh, the I don't know about how this scene looks. Can he manifest or something? Oh, oh, that's interesting. That's a really random ability, though. His gold blade should have shattered before. Like, even if it was an iron sword, it would have been stronger than a gold sword. What is that going to say now? Sword, best friend, killer, user. I really don't understand the logic of these titles. Like, whenever he does something good, it doesn't really change. But whenever he does something dumb or bad or just unlucky, that's when it changes. He was able to before. Oh, of course, he has another one. That's a very nonsensical long name. If he actually succeeds, then it'll be another point in the story that is actually starting to look up a little bit. But considering this is the last episode, it's too little, too late. I think. At least the redhead is still alive. His console broke, didn't it? Yeah, that's what I expected. It turns out that this series is still as bad as it always has been. It's not going to actually change. So is this the end of the series? I really don't think that he would ever, or should ever, continue playing that game. Yeah, no, he really shouldn't. There's no reason to play this game. It makes no sense, and it's not good in any way. It's not even realistic. A freebie? Okay, that's a little... does that mean if he agrees, he's agreeing to marry her? Because I don't think that's worth it. If he tries again, does that mean he could avoid all the bad stuff? But I just feel that the series is just going to keep torturing him for no reason. There's zero reason to believe it's just actually going to ever get better. I still don't understand how he knows this is possible. You can't restart. Unless he just has like he went through a million consoles or something, trying every single thing that you could possibly do in the game. How does he know this? Again, though, how does trying this stuff again work in a multiplayer type game, which it seems to be? It doesn't seem to be instanced from player to player because whatever is happening in Hero's world is affecting everyone else who's playing at the same time. So I just don't understand how it works. Does that mean he's going to have to do all of that friendship stuff to unlock those abilities again then? Wow, he memorized that pretty quickly. So he lost because they cheated. I'm not falling for the hope that this is creating. They're just gonna find another way to put him down again. There's still quite a bit left till it ends, so I wonder if he's actually going to beat it by the end of the season, by the end of this episode, or at least beat that event. Yeah, this is a series that I think I'm definitely just going to read the wiki and not the actual source, because I feel this is really the series that you kind of need to go through these events quickly, otherwise it just drags on. Also, his sister has been like non-existent in the story pretty much. And it definitely is. What's going to happen with these guys? Is this actually going to be resolved? I guess whatever they're doing now doesn't compare to actually being tortured like this. Are they still there? Oh, they are still there. Well, I guess he freaked them out. Well, it's probably for the best. If they think you could snap at any time, then they're probably not going to mess with you anymore. Is it just daydreaming here? But that's the only way that it would make sense. I mentioned that earlier. He probably would have to have gone through like a million consoles to know every single aspect of this game. So he's probably incredibly wealthy even during this. Well, that's a rude awakening. God, she just looks so terrible. Um, we should call the police. I really don't think she should take, or he should take her offer because I feel if he does, that's basically agreeing that he's going to marry her, and it's a terrible idea to do so. Like I said, it's a better idea to marry that crazy 2D waifu. Actually, it's VR, so she's 3D, but you know what I mean. Her chest is 2D. Well, that ended very unsatisfyingly. Oh man, what a disappointing series this was. Even by the end of an entire season, there was no progress. The main character didn't leave the town, there was no adventure, there was barely any growth, and all the growth that was there only happened like twice. Like at 2 points in the whole season was there any growth, and it was minuscule. There's also zero actual heroines in the series. I mean, the best looking character in the series is a complete psychopath, and everybody else is just scummy. I think even the sister character has more heroine potential than literally anyone else, besides the girl that we saw in the flashback, who we haven't seen at all since, you know, that moment where his whole life fell apart. If she came back and was still as understanding, then she'd probably be like best girl. The confirmation that that super good player had used up at least one console to find out how that scenario goes. Uh, it's still, well, I mean, it also contributes to the confusion that I have about how this game works. Because it's a single player game, yet it's multiplayer. Yet you can try things again and it saves your exact progress, yet people can also experience everything like if they were NPCs as well. So if you retry, they're retrying too. How does that work? I just don't understand. I want somebody to explain how the mechanics work because it feels like the author just did not put any thought into it and wanted to have both a multiplayer game and a single player game concurrently, which doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't work that way. Unless it was instanced, but then it shows otherwise because every event that the main character has gone through, everyone else experiences it as well. The only thing I can think of is that maybe like everyone gets an alert that like, oh, a player nearby is going to start an event. Do you want to join or something? And then they agree, and then they join the instance. That's the only thing I can think of that would explain how everyone's able to go through the goblin attack at the same time. I don't know. Just so many things don't make sense about this series. The only positive thing about it is the design of a terrible character, which makes me sad. It reminds me of the experience I had when watching the Mom MMO series, but even worse. All right, well, that's it for this series. I definitely going to want to forget this one after I read the wiki a bit. I doubt there's anything that I'm going to find out there that's going to convince me to actually read the source, so it's only for the satiation of my curiosity. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to this. And before I leave, I do want to say that if I'm going to rate it, probably going to rate it a 4 or a 5. Very low. It's not good. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.